Test, test, test. Welcome, Hornet Nation, to another edition of Bantam Hornet Hockey, where your Hornets will be taking on, in a scrimmage, the Hopkins Royals. What we know about Hopkins is they're pretty good. They're ranked 4th in the state, so this should be another good contest featuring some high-level hockey. We are coming to you from Bloomington, at the Bloomington Ice Garden, which has undergone renovations over the last year. Some good things, some questionable. That's the way it goes. We also have some mites here, some dynamites cheering on the boys. So we like to see that. And we're just moments away from puck drop. And we'll be back in a few seconds. All right, first period action. We got Ferrara, Bergmeyer, and Nolan backed up by Helmer and Darlene. In between the pipes, we have the Quickster. Giving a huge guy report. I don't see anyone huge. And away we go. Puck slides back to Helmer, and he throws it over to Darlene. Darlene up to Bergmeyer, who chips it down into the Royal end, where Nolan gives chase behind the net. Bergmeyer, almost a wraparound attempt, as the Royals are pinned up against the wall. Ferrara working it in the corner, trying to center that puck. Bergmeyer in to help out. A lot of boys all piled up, and the Royals now come away. From behind the cage, they cycle up for the breakout. Sliding it up the wall. They punch it, but it's swept away by Helmer and thrown back to Darlene. Darlene floats the puck up, and it's contained by the Royal D. Through the neutral zone. They slide it and punch it down into the Hornet end. Helmer from the backside. Hassled by a Royal. He leaves it. Catches his own, sends it to Darlene. Darlene now looks up ice, gets it to Bergmeyer. Bergmeyer, stretch pass all the way over to Ferrara, who gains on the left side, fires a shot. Hits traffic. Puck behind the net. As intercepted by Ewers. Ewers with a quick shot. Glove down, but released as Nolan bangs behind the net. Royals pinned down hard in their own zone. Hornets with an aggressive forecheck as they work it. Now the Royals counter, throwing it across the ice. Ivany tried to pick it off, gaining on the left side with speed, held up on the wall. Well done. Ivany through the neutral zone, gaining on the right side with speed, rolling around the circle, stopping short, looking across, looking. He's pinned up against the boards by a couple of Royals. Ivany really cranking it down there. Now comes away to Hester out front. Nobody there. Potter from the point. Looks. Long shot goes to the left. Bauer pinches up on the wall and he slams it back down. Hornets doing a good job containing the Royals. Puck cycles back to the near side. Royals trying to break out. Ivany blows a tire right in the slot with the puck. The Royals try to counter. Held on the line by Hester. Good job. Hester rolls in the slot, tries to slide it over to Ivany. He's boxed out. Hester rolls around the corner, looking at his options. Now into the high slot, looking. He's just going to keep circling. And now he's taken down into a pile. And he's on top of the puck. Ivany trying to dig at it. The Royals just having a tough time. Puck sneaks out in the neutral zone, sent back to Darlene. Darlene looking up ice, throws it up to Ivany. Ivany on the wall, trying to meet his man, and it's punched out. Royals counter, gaining the line on the right side. Quick shot, turned away. Royals from the corner, hassled by Potter as he throws his man up on the wall. Hester trying to dig it out, Dorsey in there, working it, and the puck slides all the way down, and icing is waved off. Kavita meets his man. Puck gets thrown back behind the crease, or the cage. Royals pinned down deep. Dorsey on the wall, battling his man, poking at it. Who's going to come away? I don't know. Kavita banging. Dorsey comes away, tries to stick handle, works it, throws it down. Firing shot by Kavita, turned away by the Royal tender. Puck behind the net as Wilkins tries to race his man. Now through the neutral zone, picked off as Potts throws it up, all the way up. Royals go D to D as they look to counter, throwing it through the neutral zone. Picked up at the red line, and Darlene rubs his man out. Sent up on the wall, Darlene punches it down into the Royal end. As the Royals cycle behind the cage and look to break out. Up on the wall, good defensive stop by Darlene. Ferrara in, trying to work his man. As the Royals now advance. Potts slaps it back. Potts slaps it back again. Good slapping. As the Royals now contain and they go D to D. From the backside. Long stretch pass. Helmer is there to collect it and throw it right back to Nolan. Nolan bangs it up on the wall. Bergmeyer erases his man on the boards. Thrown over to Ferrara on the far side. Countering is the Royals as they gain and then gain themselves and offsides. Super loud. Okay, the speaker is right behind us, and it's super loud. Bauer from the corner punches it up, gets it up to Bergmeyer, who tries to get it up to Nolan. Contained on the backside as the Royals punch it up, dished up by Helmer. Ferrara battles on the line with 10:15 in the first and no score. Royals stealing away, breaking through. Here's a chance. Bauer racing, and he stops his man, and the man could not make the turn on the deke. All is well in Hornet Kingdom. Battling up the wall, held at the point, thrown down on the quickster, and he makes the save. Not only is the music insanely loud, but it's distorted. Potter from the backside. Potts throwing it up to Ewers. Ewers looks up ice, tries to get it to Ivany. Held in the zone by the Royals and out of play. This music is going to be tough to contend with as the Royals fire from the point, hitting traffic. Cycling in the corner, Royals try to center it. Ivany now punching it all the way around to Ewers in the near side corner. Looking for the breakout. Hornets cycle it up to Hester. Hester now through the neutral zone. Trying to get it to Ivany. Here's a break. Ivany rolling in. Ivany! Did you see it? Beautiful slide through pass by Hester. And just like that, the Hornets are up 1-0 with 9:16 on the clock as Ivany finds the uppers. So we had Dorsey, Kervita, Wilkins backed up by Potts and Potter. Potts throwing it up the wall to Kervita. Kervita now slamming it down into the Royal end and covered up by the Royal tender. Turn it down a little bit. Volume. Dorsey throwing it back to Potter at the point. Firing shot, hitting traffic. He hit Wilkins. Wilkins from the wall, throwing it down to Dorsey. Dorsey looks, slides it back, unfortunately to a Royal. Royals now breaking through the neutral zone, trying to gain possession as the puck slides up on the boards. Up on the wall, Kervita tries to get it to Dorsey. Now it's Kervita rolling in, and Wilkins was offsides. I guess Bloomington didn't have the funds to invest in a proper sound system. Nonetheless, Dorsey off the draw. Royals go D to D and slide it up through the red line and gain on the right side. Rolling down. Thalling does a good job to hold his man to the outside. Puck slides down in the corner. Wilkins picks it up. He's pinned to the wall. Now it's Darlene sliding into Dorsey. Dorsey tries to punch it through. It's up to Kervita. Kervita's got Darlene racing in. Sliding shot and saved by the Royal tender. So we get a line change. We got Nolan, Bergmeyer, Ferrara rolling on. Backed up by Helmer and Darlene. Off the draw, Helmer from the point, throwing it on net, sails high and wide. Darlene pinches up, throws it back down. Bergmeyer trying to work it in the corner. From the point, Darlene holds the line. And Nolan bangs it down. Ferrara gives chase into the corner. Meets his man, sticks up high. Bergmeyer in. Who's going to come away? Ferrara battles it. But now, countering are the Royals as they slide it through the neutral zone. Helmer drags it back into the Hornet zone, and he drops it to Darlene. Darlene slides across ice to Ferrara. And Ferrara just has to dish it down to the near side corner. Darlene looks across, fires it up just on the backside of Nolan. Icing is waved off. Nolan in. And the Royals contend from the near side corner. Long stretch pass intercepted by Nolan at the red line. Looks up ice, slides it to Ferrara just beyond his stick. As Ferrara's boxed out behind the net. Royals working up the line. Nolan stops it short. Now it's free. Potter from the left side fires it on net. And it's gloved away by the Royal tender with 7:12 on the clock. Shots are 5-2 as the Mites are making some noise down there for the home side squad. Ivany off the draw. Back to Potter, who sends it down behind the cage. Ivany in pursuit as the Royals try to gain possession. Ivany across the circle. Royals countering now. Rolling through the neutral zone, swept away by Bauer. Potter meets his man, but it's sent down into the Hornet end. Potter from behind the net, battling two Royals. As Ivany slides it up to Ewers. Ewers up to Hester, but it's intercepted at the last second. Ivany throws it down into the Royal end, with Ewers giving chase. Now collecting the corner. Royals bank it up the wall, and it goes all the way down. Icing waved off again. These refs don't like icing. Sliding it up the wall just beyond Hester. Intercepted by Ivany and contained by the Royal D as they look and survey for options. Royals now punching it through the red line. Gaining on the left side. Walking in. And Ivany destroys his man on the wall. As the Royals go D to D and look for an outlet pass. All the way up, looking for a lane. Sliding a D to D again. Royals advancing through the neutral zone, trying to get something going as they're held down by a ferocious Edina forecheck. Here's Kervita rolling in. Swept away at the last second by the Royal tender. Up on the wall, they look for the fast break and punch it down into the Hornet end. Potts from behind the net. And we're going to get a penalty. That's a boarding as Darlene takes offense and rubs it. Getting frothy down there.
I wonder if it's going to be personal.
Don't know. We'll see what the call is. So Darlene's going to get it for retaliation, and I think the first guy, the Royal guy, he's going to get it for boarding of some sort. Cross-checking for both. So it's still going to be 5-on-5 hockey. Off the draw. Dorsey punches at it. It's naked in the slot. Comes up to Wilkins. Wilkins through the neutral zone. He's working it. Throws it down into the Royal end from behind the net. And we got something. We got a slashing call. And the Royals will be shown the gate, so the Hornets will have the man advantage. Okay, interesting setup here. We got Dorsey, Ferrara, and Potter backed up by Helmer and Potts. Off the draw, Ferrara throws it to Potts. Potts looks, slides it to Helmer. Helmer drives it down to Dorsey, but it's on his backside. Ferrara from behind the net tries to sweep it out into the slot. Helmer contains at the line, still working it. It's punched out. Here's a counter by the Royals as they try to work it across. Last man back. Potter trying to nail it around. Potts sweeps it away. The Royals dump it behind the cage. From behind, Potter up to Helmer. Back to Potter. Potter looks up ice to Dorsey. On his backside. Come on, boys. Passing. Ferrara working it down into the zone. He's boxed out as Dorsey comes in for help. Potts throwing it back down. And the Royals punch it out of the zone where Helmer stops short, slides it all the way across to Dorsey. Dorsey across the line. Works his way in around the circle. Now setting up behind the net. Throwing it all the way around to Ferrara. Ferrara looks. Slides it across. Just a bit too far for Dorsey. Dorsey one-times it. There it is. Yes, did you see that? Turnaround shot by Dorsey. Cleaned up by Potter. And the Hornets have a 2-0 lead with 4:26 in the first. So we're back to 5-on-5 hockey with that goal as Nolan, Kervita, and Hester take up the cause, backed up by Bauer and Helmer. Off the draw, Royals sink it back to their D. Cycling, going D to D, looking for a lane up ice. Through the neutral zone. Picked off by Helmer, who throws it right back at the Royal D. Good forecheck by the Hornets as they hold the Royals down in their end. Long stretch pass through the neutral zone. Into the skates. And off sides. Off the draw, Helmer from the backside, throwing it to Bauer. Bauer looks up ice, gets it to Nolan. Nolan works his way across the blue line, slides it in, intercepted pass by the Royals as they pitch it up the wall and past Helmer. Bauer's going to pick this one up as Helmer boxes out the Royal from behind the cage, dumping it back to Helmer. Helmer looks up ice, looks. Oh, a stretch pass, and he's blown up as Nolan works it across the red line. He's knocked off the puck, and the Royals go D to D and look for a lane through the blue line, working it down around the circle. Helmer holding his man off. Helmer dumping his man as Nolan from the backside waffles it up on the backside of Hester, and this will go for an icing. Puck centered out front. Boys battling in the slot. Pushed to the outside by Potter. Potter up to Ivany. Ivany's got Bergmeyer. 2-on-2 situation as he rolls down the left side. Trying to center it across. Working it. And he blows a tire and goes into the wall. Royals countering through the neutral zone. Working and gaining on the right side. All the way around into the slot. Into the slot again. Pushed aside. Royals from the corner. Looking. Back to the point. D to D pass from the point, firing. It's into Quick's equipment. Where is it? I don't know. But a save nonetheless. With 2:53 on the clock, the Hornets up 2-0. So we will do it again. Ivany off the draw. Tries to punch it up. Just a bit too far for Ferraro, but he gets his own and he slides it to Bergmeyer. Bergmeyer one-on-one, rolling in. Whiffs on the shot and covered up by the Royal tender. As you swap out the D and Helmer and Darlene roll in. Off the draw, puck tied up in the dot and sent behind the cage to the near side corner. Rolling all the way up, long stretch pass. Helmer battling his man, punches him off the puck. Well done, Helmer. Sliding up on the wall now. Potter sliding it up, or Darlene gets it to Ivany. Ivany working across the blue line, gaining on the left side, and that was just all offside. You could see it a mile away. It happens. It's youth hockey. As Kervita, Dorsey, and Wilkins roll on. Off the draw, contained by the Royal D. They go D to D and look up for a lane. Through the neutral zone, gaining on the right side. Walking in, across the slot, banging. Boys going down. Picked up by Dorsey. Dorsey looks, slides it up to Wilkins. Wilkins through the red line. He's got 3-on-2 situation rolling in. Puck free behind the net. Picked off. Dorsey trying to slide it in the slot. Trying it, working it. Behind the net, the Royals look to establish a breakout as now they slide through. With speed, punching it down into the Hornet end. Quick stops it behind the net and throws it up to Wilkins. Nailed on the wall. Cycling around, trying to get in front of the circle. Trying a shot. Fired wide. Royals pinching up, throwing it back down into the zone. Helmer battles it up, punches it up, just past the defense, and the Hornets go for a wholesale line change. Sliding it up, Royals now pitching it down into the Hornet end. We're approaching the 1-minute mark left in the period. Potter up to Ewers. Ewers, quick shot, intercepted and held in the zone momentarily. Nolan racing across that red line as the Royals push into the Hornet end. Potter holding his man to the wall. Nolan holding his man to the wall as Nolan works from behind the cage on the backside of Ewers. Royals containing in their own zone, pestered by Hester as they counter and try to gain advantage and throw it into the Hornet end. Stopped by Ewers at the red line. He just lofts it down with 40 seconds to play. Ewers from behind the cage plastered up against the wall as Nolan comes in to help out. Hornets with an aggressive forecheck, holding it down in the Royal end. Sticks on the ice, banging away. Nolan working it, trying to get possession. As now the puck is thrown to the near side corner. Royals picking it up, advancing through. No one can seem to get possession. As the puck is slid down with the final 10 seconds to play. Down into the Hornet end, that's going to do it. And that's where we leave it. Hornets up 2-0 on some very aggressive play. We'll be back in 30. Strikingly similar situation to the game against Mankato, where the Hornets were playing very well in the first period and up against a highly ranked opponent, which we'll see how the Hornets respond in periods 2 and 3. Off the draw, Royals contain from the backside as they go D to D and look up ice. Throwing it up the near side wall, stopped cold for Arenaus, cycles in his own zone, he leaves it for Dahlin. Dahlin throws it to Helmer. Helmer looks, he's pinched back in his own zone. Intercepted and thrown on net as Dahlin meets his man in the corner. Bergmeyer pinned up against the wall. Nolan in to help out. A lot of boys piled up as it comes away to Dahlin. Dahlin now through the neutral zone. A soft shot on net and steered away by the Royal tender. One of the Royals blows a tire. Send careening into the corner. Oh, a certified fresh cranker on net. Turned away by the Royal tender. From the point, Helmer throws it down, but it's intercepted as the Royals counter back through the neutral zone. Gaining the line, trying to toe drag, stood up by Dahlin. Well done. Punch behind the net to Helmer. Helmer looks up ice, long waffle pass. Way too far for Nolan, and we will get an icing. So are Ewers, Ivany, and Hester, backed up by Potter and Bauer. From behind the net, Royals roll, look for an option. Back to the point. On net. Waffling shot. Clubbed away by the Quickster as a pile of bodies are in front. So Ivany on the drop to the left of Quickster. Puck naked in the slot and swept away by Bauer from behind the net up to Ewers. Ewers tries to slide it up and it's intercepted and the Royals roll back down. Potter meets his man in the corner. Dished up, Royals try to center it, it's out front, swept away. Potter from the corner, pitchforks it up. Ewers tries to contain it and it's sent right back down. Potter again, up the wall to Ewers. Again, chipped back down. Royals with the forecheck now as a shot goes wide from the point. Dished on net again. They try to tip it in. Nothing. And we get a cross check on someone. Looks like Potter's shown the gate for a cross check. So the Royals will have the man advantage at 13:09 with the face-off deep in the Hornet end. Kravita on the draw. Comes back. They go D to D on the point. From the high slot down to the circle. Royals walking in, firing a shot, and the rebound comes out wide. Back to the point. Firing again. Another low shot. Banging. And we got a goal. It snuck past quick. And the penalty proved costly to the Hornets as the score is now 2-1. So Dorsey, Kravita, Wilkins, backed up by Potts and Darlene. Dorsey on the drop. Puck tied up on the center circle. Slides over the wall as the Royals try to work their way in. Potts bangs his man up on the wall. Kravita working it. Dorsey trying to get his stick on it. Slides over to Quick, who has to steer it away. Wilkins from the near side wall. Powers his way up, just a bit too far for Kravita. And the countering Royals push it down into the Hornet end. Darlene from the backside, sliding up on the walls, sending it down into the Royal end. Royals from behind the cage, look up, bank it off the boards, now through the neutral zone, sliding and gaining on the left side. A shot, fired wide, up on the wall. Wilkins, one-handed curly-cue pass, just beyond Kravita's reach. As the Royals try a fast break, held by Potts momentarily. Darlene slides it down, and we get an offsides with 11:58 on the clock. As Nolan, Ferrara, and Bergmeyer roll on, backed up by Helmer and Bauer. Off the draw, Ferrara gains on the right side. He's got Nolan working his way around the circle, knocked off the puck, and the Royals flip it up and over. Bauer does a good job containing momentarily. Helmer has to swing over and pitch it up. The Royals are persistent. Helmer doing a good physical job against a bigger guy. Bergmeyer up on the wall. Head rams him as they work it and try to gain possession. Puck slides away on the circle. Here's a foot race for Bergmeyer. Pitches it up on the wall, races down, and he's rubbed off the puck. From the backside, Royals trying to work their way out of the jam. So the Hornets are pressing hard on the forecheck. Helmer tries to pinch up. It's contained, and we have a 3-on-2 situation. Royals rolling across the line, into the slot, firing and hitting traffic. Bauer from behind the net, dishing it up to the near side. Nolan working the puck, knocked off. Now it slides up the wall. And out of play. We'll change it up with Hester, Ivany, and Ewers. Puck tied up on the line. Hester comes away, and he's knocked off the puck. He battles and throws it up to Ewers. Ewers gains the line, walks across, and he's tied up by two men, but he still has the puck. Finally, Royals counter with a long stretch pass that doesn't connect, going all the way down for an icing. So face off to the left of the Royal tender. Ivany on the draw. Puck slides back. Ewers introduces his player to the boards as the Royals fire it all the way up ice. They're looking for that stretch break. As Bauer does a good job tying up his man. Or that's Potter. Potter from behind the cage. Working it. Sticks up high as Ewers throws it out of the zone, and the Royals will have to reset. Firing it rink wide, nobody home. Contained by the Royal D. Harassed by Ivany. It's just slung up the near side. Now a break for the Royals as they come in 3-on-2, working across the line, looking to center it across, into the slot, saved by Quick. With 9:55 to play in the second. Shots are all even at 7. As Potter and Potts are out there. Oh, Ivany has shown the gate. So the Royals will have a man advantage here. As Dorsey and Wilkins roll on to cut this one off. Off the draw, Royals contained at the point. Holding on the wall. Trying to slide it in front of that net. Potter works his man across. There's a quick side shot that sneaks out of the zone. Wilkins racing after it as the puck is slid up on the wall. Dorsey bangs his man. Royals now working it across the line. And it's shoved down into the corner. Potter from the backside, sliding it all the way up the far side wall. Dorsey holding his man to the outside. Potts doing the same. One-time shot, naked in the slot. This one's going to sneak out. And the Royals will have to reset as they work their way across. Rink wide to the red line. Nice interception by Dorsey as he holds the puck up on the red line. Trying to work it through. Dorsey, excellent. Working his way through. Knocked off the puck, but ticking off valuable seconds. So the Royals will have to send from behind the cage. Now looking up ice. Through the neutral zone, they slide it up on the line. Working their way across. Long shot. Waffled away by Quick. Bang down in the slot. Banging again. Saved by Quick. It's still free. Comes away to Kervita. Kervita pitches it up on the wall. And the Royals again will have to reset. 48 seconds left in the man advantage. As the Royals chip it down into the Hornet end. Helmer banging it up the wall on the near side. Nolan trying to stop his man. All the way across to the other point. Now working it at the high slot. Sliding across to the circle. Driving in. Firing over the net. Back to the point. Royals working it across the blue line. Sliding it down to the circle. Good job by Helmer as they drive in. Firing over the net again. 17 seconds left. Nolan working on the line. Punching it out all the way down. And icing is waved off. 7 seconds left in the man advantage. Royals from the backside, looking up ice, holding on the line and chipping it down and out of play. And that does it. Hornets are back to full strength. Well done, Hornets, killing that off. With 7:54 on the clock. Off the draw, Helmer goes D to Darlene. Darlene sliding up to Nolan through the red line, gaining in the middle, walking across the slot, firing shot goes wide. Bergmeyer in to stop his man as the Royals counter. Darlene pinches up and sends it right back down. Bergmeyer from the corner, getting physical, working it all the way up on the wall. Darlene's going to stop this one short. He does, but the Royals counter, roll through the neutral zone and gain on the right side. Long shot sails wide as Nolan gets it in the corner, trying to dish it up, avoiding a check. Darlene throwing it up, but it's contained at the point. Thrown down to the circle. Royals now trying to drive into the lane. Darlene does a good job stuffing his man as it rolls down again into the corner. Darlene throwing it around to Helmer on the near side. Helmer advancing up, sliding it up to Nolan. Good job catching that pass as he works across the line. All the way around. Loses the puck behind the net. Ferrari in to try to steal it. And the Royals now working from behind on the near side. Throwing it up the wall through the neutral zone as they drive down against the Hornets. A shot's deflected away by Potter. Ferrara sweeps it out at the slot area. Looking up, fires it all the way up to Ewers. Ewers gets in the way of the ref. Royals counter back the other way as we're getting some free-flowing hockey. Potter sending it down. And we get an offsides. With 6:22 on the clock, Hornets leading 2-1. Ivany Hester Ewers, backed up by Potter. and Bauer. Puck punched down into the Hornet end. A little bit too far for Quick to stop it short. Bauer. Once again, the ref gets in the way. What's with that? As the puck is sent out, Ivany giving chase. Thrown up on the wall. Hester now retrieves it on the line, works his way in. Tried to slide around his man. He's knocked off the puck. But right back to Hester. Hester on the far side wall, working around the circle. Looking. Sliding it to Potter. Potter fires it on net. There's a tip. It's out front. Swept away and out of the zone. And all the way down for an icing. Dorsey, Kravita, Wilkins, Darlene, Potts. Off the draw, comes away. And the Royals cycle behind their cage. Long stretch pass, intercepted by Darlene. Darlene firing on net, goes wide. Wilkins working his man in the corner. Kravita in to help out. Stolen away almost by Dorsey as he punches it right back down. Wilkins meets his man. Bunch of boys piled up. Kravita trying to center it. Bit too far. One-time cranker. Oh, hit Dorsey, I think. Back to Wilkins on the wall. Now Potts firing it. It's all. And Kravita's banging. Everyone's banging. Royals working their way across. Still held by the Hornets as they slap that puck and drive it right back down. Dorsey meets his man and throws him into the wall as the Royals counter now on the breakout, sliding it all the way across the ice. A bit too far. Quicky's going to have to drive this one back up the ice and out of the zone. All the way up. We get an offsides. With 4:41. Good shift by the Hornets. Couldn't find the back of the net, though. As Nolan, Bergmeyer, and Ferrara roll on with Bauer and Helmer. Off the draw, Ferrara sliding it to Helmer. Helmer, long stretch pass up to Bergmeyer. Pinched off the line at the last second. Nolan pickpocketing, working it across that slot. Bergmeyer blew a tire there. Couldn't receive the pass. So Ferrara works it behind the cage. Stolen away by the Royals into the corner. As the boys pile up. Ferrara leads it to Nolan. Nolan tries a quick shot, a backhander. And it's saved by the Royal tender. A lot of extracurriculars. But Nolan wasn't taking the bait at all. Off the draw, back to Helmer. Helmer firing it at his traffic. Nolan and Ferrara meeting their man. Good job. Good, very physical hockey today. As it slides back and Nolan punches it on the wall. A quick shot. Fired wide. Not a lot of wood on it. As Ferrara battles his man on the near side wall. Puck is sent back down. Good aggressive forecheck as Nolan tries to stop his man. Sliding it across. The Royals are working to gain possession, but there is Helmer sliding it up to Ferrara. Leaving it for Nolan. Nolan on the left side. Toe drags. Fires. Rebound. Yeah! Did you see that Bergmeyer scoring? Yeah, baby. Relentless. Ferrara to Nolan to Bergmeyer. And the score is 3-1 with 3:44 on the clock. I don't know, but Ivany was tossed, probably for a mouth guard. Dorsey rolls in with Hester and Ewers, backed up by Potter and Potts. Puck comes away down into the Royal end, and they pitch it up on the boards. Held by Potter at the red line. He loops it down deep into the Royal end, where Ewers gives chase. Hester on the wall, driving it back down behind the cage. Ivany back in. Adjusted his mouth guard, I guess. Royals from the backside, long stretch pass, working their way across. Potts holds his man to the outside, and a shot fires wide. Royals now trying to hold it up on the wall. Sneaks out of the zone, but is punched back down. To the far side, now back behind the cage. Ivany comes away, slides it up to Hester. Hester now through the neutral zone. He's going to gain on the left side. Walking around the circle, looking to center. Centering pass doesn't quite connect, and the Royals counter with fury as they roll it across. Long stretch passes, gaining the line, firing shots, and into the webbing with 2:45. Dorsey, Kravita, Wilkins, Helmer, Darlene. Off the draw, Dorsey slides it up to Kravita. Kravita now with speed, rolling and gaining on the right side, trying to slide it over. Hits deflection and Wilkins meets it in the corner. Down to Kravita. Kravita banging away at it. Dorsey meets his man, shovels it back down. Wilkins battling. Everyone's battling. Puck comes away to Kravita, slams it down into the corner for Wilkins. Wilkins thrown up against the glass as the Royals now counter with speed through the neutral zone, sliding it all the way across. Darlene holding his man to the outside. A shot turned away by Quick. Wilkins now up the near side wall, trying to grab it. Dorsey now with speed, rolling, gaining on the right side, looking across. Back to Kravita, one-timer, banging. Look, Dorsey up front, another bang. Nothing. Puck up on the near side wall, countering by the Royals as they gain on the left side. Toe dragging across. A shot, a save, another save. Well done, Quick. Another shot, another save. Into the equipment, Darlene from behind the net tries to poke it through to Helmer. Helmer, up ice. Ooh, dangerous pass through the slot. Contained on the line and thrown right back down. Helmer from behind the net. Rolls it around, and it can't be contained. Wilkins racing with speed. Wilkins, get there, Wilkins. No, Wilkins. Wilkins holding his man up as we approach the 1 minute mark of the second period. Long stretch pass, contained by Darlene, sliding over to Ferrara. Ferrara stretches it back to Bergmeyer. Bergmeyer sends it up just a bit too far for Nolan. Nolan grabs his own, gets it to Ferrara. Firing shot, another. Rebound, back to Potter. Potter, certified fresh cranker, goes wide. All the way up on the wall. Nolan contains in the zone. The boys battling with a ferocious forecheck. Pitched up on the wall. Bauer now looks at his options. Sliding to Ferrara, who throws it down into the Royal end. Nolan gives chase. Puck is rung around the boards to the far side and met by Bauer. Bauer holds the zone. Ferrara pitches it down to Bergmeyer. Bergmeyer loses it in his skates, but he throws it down to the near side corner. Nolan dumping it off to Ferrara. Ferrara right out in front. Bergmeyer tied up. Back to the point. Bauer walks in, fires. There's a tip. There's a rebound. There's another one. And another. Oh, the Hornets. Now here's an opportunity for the Royals as they race in. Bauer last man back. Controls behind the net. He's rode up on the boards, and the Royals now free in the corner. Looking to center. Sticked away by Quick. In the slot. Firing. Over and up into the webbing. With 2 seconds to play. Ivany on the drop. He's got Ewers. He's got Hester. Backed up by Potter and Bauer. Tied up right on the circle. And that's going to do it. And that's the story. After 2, Hornets 3, Hopkins Royals 1. And we're going to get a resurface, and we'll be back in 10. All right, start of the third. Hornets up 3-1. Playing a very physical brand of hockey like we have not seen before. Puck slides all the way down into the Royal end. And we get an icing. With Nolan, Bergmeyer, and Ferrara leading the charge, backed up by Darlene and Helmer. Nolan on the drop. Puck tied up in the ref's skates as the boys pound into the corner and try to gain possession. From behind the net, Royals trying to center it out front. Darlene slides it up the near side. It's met on the wall. All right, we have some viewing angle issues here. The Royals just scored with 14:25 on the clock. Couldn't quite see from our vantage point. But the Hornets hold a slim 3-2 lead here in the third. Ivany, Ewers, and Hester now roll on, backed up by Bauer and Potter. Puck is sent down into the Royal end. We got an icing. Yeah, I could not see the goal, so I'm sorry. If you can see it on tape, you saw it. Ewers on the draw. Puck sent down in the corner, and Bauer slides it all the way around. And it's pitched right back down behind the crease. It's out front. It's banging all the way across as Bauer meets his man in the corner. Sent back to the point. Furious forecheck by the Royals as Potter pins his man up on the boards. Out front again. Back to the point. They slide it back down. Royals are really cranking. Potter up on the far side. He tries to chip it up to Hester, but it's held. Sneaks out of the zone. Royals throwing it up on the wall. Sliding it through. Now gaining the ride. Walking across. Sliding all the way. And up into the webbing. So Dorsey, Curvita, Wilkins on. Backed up by Darlene and Potts. Off the draw, puck skitters behind the net as the Royals collect and roll to the near side corner. Was battling. As Curvita tries to bang it up the wall, held at the point as they go D to D, walking in and firing. Waffled up and hitting the rafters. As Quick makes the save. Dorsey off the draw. Puck tied up on the dot. Quick shot, gloved away by Quick. Puck tied up, comes away to Wilkins. Wilkins charges ahead through the neutral zone and punches it down deep into the Royal end. Curvita steals it right on the line, tries to throw it out front, and it's intercepted, and the net is off its moorings at 12:57. Dorsey off the draw, puck tied up, tried to get it back to the D, and the Royals pick it off and roll through the neutral zone. Gaining on the right side, waffling it across. Royals trying to contain on the wall. Puck slides behind the net for Darlene. Darlene trying to find the handle on it. Loses it, once again in the ref skates, as the Royals try to punch it into the slot. Swept around by Curvita and out of the zone, and that sends the Royals chasing. Wilkins trying to pickpocket. Dorsey on the trailer, throws it down to Wilkins. Wilkins on the wall, centers it across. Intercepted by the Royals as they counter back the other way and throw it out of the zone. Bauer leaves it for Nolan. Nolan firing it across, a bit too far for Bergmeyer. Contained on the backside as the Royals counter and throw it up the wall. Ferrara holds him short. And sends it right back down into the blue and white end. From the near side, cycling back. Bergmeyer's going to pick this one up behind the net. Trying to center it, but he's pinched up on the wall. Ferrara in to help out. Banging away. Royals trying to pitch it up the wall. Saved by Nolan and sends it down. Again, throwing it on net. Sailing high and wide. And Bauer's going to have to pick this one up all the way back down in the Hornet end. From behind the cage. Bauer, stretch pass. As Ferrara was not in a position as he was boxed out to catch that. And we're going to get an icing. With 11:30 on the clock. Nolan off the draw, sends it back to Helmer. Helmer tried to punch it to Bauer as Bauer rubs his man out and slides it up to Ferrara. Ferrara now working it. He's plowed over by a big-time hit, which is going to get a penalty. Interference. And the Hornets will be on the man advantage with 11:17 on the clock and a 3-2 lead. So, Ivany, Wilkins, Bergmeyer, Dahlin, Ewers. Face off to the right of the Royal tender. Bergmeyer knocks his man off the puck, comes back to Ewers at the point. Ewers throws it down to Wilkins on the near side. From the corner, Wilkins dishes, works it all the way across to Ewers. Ewers on the circle. Back to Ivany at the point. Ivany rolls across the blue line, works his way across, slides it down to Dahlin. Overshoots it. Wilkins bangs his man up on the wall. Puck into the slot, and here come the Royals countering. Rolling through the neutral zone and intercepted back to Ivany. Ivany from the backside, looks up on the backside of Wilkins. This one goes all the way down for an icing. So 1:24 left in the man advantage. Hornets couldn't get a shot off so far on the PP. So we will do it again. Ivany on the drop, puck tied up on the dot. Puck sent into the corner, and Dahlin cycles behind the net. Tries to fire it up, harassed by a Royal. So Royals doing a good job containing the Hornets in their own zone. Bergmeyer knocks his man off the puck, and Dahlin from behind the net again. Once again, he's tied up. High sticking aplenty as Ivany rolls from the backside. He gets it up to Ewers. Now here come the Hornets as they gain the line. Bergmeyer racing down, trying to get a hold of the puck. He just can't quite find the handle as Wilkins comes in to help out. Was battling, tied up. Comes away to Ewers. Ewers back to Dahlin at the point. Dahlin looks down to Ewers. Ewers fires. There it is. There's this. He tried to chip it up. He tried to bat it in, but nothing. As Dahlin works from his end, leaves it for Ivany. Ivany cycling around the net with speed, rolling up through the neutral zone, gaining the line on the left side, all the way down. He's got Wilkins in front. He's got Ferrara, but he blows a tire. Now out front. Banged away. Back again. Ivany looks from the corner. Sliding all the way around into the slot area. Down to Dorsey. Dorsey on the wall. Firing back to Ivany. Ivany at the point. Fires. There's a tip. There's a bang. It's banging. It's all over the place. It's Bauer. He can't find it. He's still in his skates. Firing again. Nothing. Dorsey meets his man in the corner. Countering the play. Royals back at full strength as they roll across the blue line. A long shot sails high over the net as the Royals try to contain the zone. Boys piled up on the blue line, trying to come away. All the way across the line. Royals work it, but they got to get on sides. And they punch it down into the Hornet end. Bauer from behind the cage. Looks up, looks for a lane. Long stretch pass all the way up to Nolan. Nolan gains the line. He walks in, fires a shot, and it goes wide. Bauer contains at the point, snaps it back down on the wall. Royals countering with speed in a 3-on-2 situation. Odd man rush. Rolling in. Held up on the wall by Kravita. Out front, banging, and saved. 8:25 left in the final frame. Opponents clinging to the slimmest of margins, and they've started to pick up their game. Nolan Ferrara and puck rolls behind the cage. Bauer first man in as he tries to chip it up the boards. Royals contain and throw it down, but it's picked up by Ferrara. Intercepted by the Royals, but back to Ferrara. It's back and forth hockey as they try to roll across the slot, trying to get a shot off. Bauer knocks him off the puck, and it slides all the way back down. Here's an opportunity for the Royals as they roll behind the cage. No one's in home out front, and they send it back to the point. A firing shot is gloved away by the flashing leather of Ryan Quick. Not Ryan Quick. What am I thinking? That's his brother. Puck sent into the corner. Potter rifles it all the way around and slides up to Ewers. Ewers throws it up, but just a bit hot for Hester as the Royals turn it back down into the Hornet end. From the circle, a shot fired wide. Royals on the far side wall, intercepted by Ivany as he works his way and throws it to Potter. Potter looks up ice, chips it up the wall, and it's thrown back down by the Royals as they punch it down again into Potter's uniform. Firing away, trying to gain control. Potter from the backside corner looks up, trying to throw it up the wall. Royals now trying to pressure it. Now it's a 3-on-2 situation as Ivany rolls and gains on the left side. Loses the handle, tries a backside pass. It's Ewers firing. There's the rebound. Swept away by the Royals as they're held down in their own zone. Now countering through the neutral zone. Royals work it across the red line. Throw it down across the line, and it's stopped short by Ivany, who punches it back up to Hester. Hester trying to work his way around a huge guy. It's held by Ivany on the line, and he sweeps it back out and throws it back to Helmer. Helmer to Darlene. Darlene looks up ice. Chipped in by Kravita all the way down. Cycling behind the net, the Royals work it up the wall. Back to Darlene. A quick shot firing and saved with 6:26 on the clock. So Dorsey and Wilkins roll on. Puck slides out a bit too far for Helmer to contain. He throws it to Darlene. Darlene looks for a lane, looks up ice, looking, backpedaling over to Helmer. Helmer sliding up the wall to Wilkins. Wilkins chips it into the zone, and it's contained as the Royals fire it back the other way. Darlene well positioned as he throws it up. It's intercepted on the line. Helmer swirling it around, gets it to Darlene, who chucks it down into the Royal end for an icing. So Dorsey on the drop. Tied up, sent to Helmer in the corner, who cycles behind the net. Sends it back to Darlene. Darlene back to Helmer. Helmer looks up ice, taps it up to Dorsey. Dorsey now through the neutral zone. Slides it down, gains on the left side. All the way around, drops it to Wilkins. Wilkins curls around. Fancy stick work as he works it on the wall and down to Dorsey. Dorsey pitches it out front to Darlene. Darlene fires. Leg saved by the Royal tender. Here come the Royals. Marching back the other way through the neutral zone. Gaining on the left side. Walking down. Held outside by Helmer. Loses the puck. Can they contain the zone? Yes. A shot on net. And Quick covers up. What furious action by both sides. But no change in score. with 5:19 to play. Nolan, Ferrara, Bergmeyer. Nolan sends it up to Ferrara, who chucks it out of the zone. Royals throw it right back down and walk across the blue line. Now in, firing shot, intercepted by Bauer. Bergmeyer tries to send it up, but the Royals roll in, trying to work across, firing, in the slot, turned away. Bergmeyer from the corner, looks up ice. Long stretch pass, waffles up, just beyond Nolan's reach. Royals counter and send it back down into the Hornet end with less than 5 minutes to play. Bauer from behind the cage, looks up, he's got Ferrara. Ferrara dishes it up the wall, a racing Nolan, can he get there? Nolan's working it, tries to steal it away. Countering by the Royals as they punch it up through the neutral zone. Gaining on the right side, throwing it down as Potter holds him to the outside. Tied up on the wall behind the net. Puck comes away to Ferrara. Ferrara dishes it back down, and Bauer picks it up on the near side. Throwing it up to Nolan. Nolan at the red line. Nolan gaining the line is totally held up, interfered with. Right out front to Ewers. Ewers fires. Saved by the Royals header. Out front again. Swept away. Darlene from the point. Firing shot. Here's a foot race as Potts races back to get it. It's still out front. Potts gains. Throws it up to Nolan. Nolan chips it up to Ewers. Ewers racing in. He's got Hester. Works it across the line and is swept away with less than 4 minutes to play. Royals from the backside. Chucking it up. Potts holds his man on the wall and punches it back down, but the Royals are persistent, throwing it across the blue line. And we get in offsides with 3:36 on the clock. So Ivany, Hester, Ewers, Darlene and Potts. From the backside, Darlene looks from behind the cage to Ewers. Puck held up on the wall. Ewers tries to blast it up. Ivany comes away. Ivany sneaks around his man through the red line. He gains the line. He's got Hester. Looking across, toe dragging, sliding. Oh, and Hester missed the pass. Ewers blasts his man up on the wall. Darlene now on the red line. Throws it right back down. And we get an offsides with 3:11 on the clock. With Wilkins, Dorsey, and Curvita rolling on. Backed up by Bauer and Helmer. Off the draw, puck dances across the blue line, trying to slide it up. Dorsey pounds it up and into the Hornet zone. Royals go D to D, sliding a long stretch pass. Has to be saved by Quick. Smart thing. With 2:57 on the clock. Off the draw, puck tied up, comes away to Wilkins. Wilkins powers it up and throws it down for an icing. Hornets clinging to this lead. And Hopkins has pulled their goalie for an extra attacker. Dorsey off the draw. Puck sent behind the net. Helmer goes down. Dorsey in to hold off the big guy. Jamming on the wall. Who's going to come away? Royals from behind the net. Looking to gain a lane. Back to the point. They go D to D. Wilkins holds his man. Firing shot. Trapped away by Quick. With 2:32 on the clock. Off the draw again. Helmer slams the puck to the outside. On the far side boards, back to the point. Oh, that's out, that's out. Yes, it is offsides, thank you. With 2:24 on the clock. And the boys line up again, and the Hopkins tender is back between his pipes. 5-on-5 hockey. Royals D tries to punch it up the wall, and Dorsey throws it on the wall. Wilkins throws it down into the Royal end. Chasing behind the net, Royals look to break out as time ticks away. Sliding it up through the neutral zone. They slide it across the blue line. Helmer holding his man to the outside. All the way around the cage, the Royals cycle. Helmer blows a tire. High into the slot. Banged off the puck. A quick shot. Fired wide. Helmer from the corner. Looks up ice and flings it out, but it's held in the zone. All piled up. Hopkins has pulled their net again as they try to drive it up into the zone. Dorsey slams it out of the zone and sends it down. And the Hornets go for a quick line change. Oh, and there's a shot on net by Kurvita, and it sails just wide with 1:36 on the clock. Intercepted by Nolan, almost picked off. That would have been a sure goal, as now the Royals are pressing as they gain the line, and they roll into the high slot. A shot is slipped away by Nolan from the corner. Bergmar tries to pound it out. It's held in. It's in the slot. It's over the line, but no. Now rolling in on the side. Saved by Quick into the webbing with 1:14 on the clock. I can't even get the words out. It's happening so fast. Nolan off the draw, sends it to Potts in the corner, who slams it up to Ferrara. Ferrara whacks at it, but it's held by the Hopkins as they hold it on the line. Sliding from the point, trying to put it down to the circle, trying to slide it across, right out front. It's banging. It's out. It's still there. Get it out. As they curl around, trying to fire it by, they fire it wide. Less than a minute to play. As it's sent back around the circle, firing to the point. A shot, and saved by Quick with 47 seconds left in this contest. Hopkins is pouring every ounce they have with a 6-on-5 advantage. As Ivany, Hester, and Ewers roll on, backed up by Darlene and Potter. From the point, Hopkins tries to cycle it around as Potter tries to hold the zone. Darlene flings it out. They're still in the slot. They're still banging, trying to get possession, trying everything they can. Into the slot again, swept away by Ivany. Now it's in the slot again. Get it out of the slot, boys. Firing. A save by Quick. It's still in the slot. Trying to get 23 seconds. And Hopkins finally scores. So with 22 seconds left, the Royals have tied it up. And a ferocious effort in the slot area that the Hornets could not clear. So Dorsey, Kurvita, and Wilkins come on, backed up by Bauer and Helmer. Puck slides back to the Royal D as they throw it up on the near side wall. A big check by Bauer smashes his man. Helmer from the backside, behind the cage, looking. Slides it up to Wilkins. Wilkins now through the neutral zone. Time ticking away as he works it. He fires into traffic. Dorsey can't find the handle on it. And that's it. Excellent effort by the Hornets. And the game ends in a draw. 3-3 against the highly ranked Hopkins Royals. So that's what we have in your Monday afternoon edition of Edina Bantam hockey. And we will see you next time.